What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The 3rd of November, we're taking a look Aerodrome finance slash the United States dollar. We are on a daily chart, and this is the price data from Coinbase. We have another so far red day. Today would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day in a row of a red day after we have found resistance up there at 128, 129 level once again. We're going to talk about the potential head and shoulders forming here and what the target looks for to the downside. We have Bitcoin down 1.43%, backing off of a almost new all-time high just a few days ago. We have a major level of resistance at 144 for Aerodrome, and we have some targets to talk about below the market for Aerodrome Finance. Welcome all the new subs. Everybody who watches these videos, appreciate it. Hope you guys are doing okay out there. And we're not sharing this to spread any FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We're sharing this because it's a possibility. If this was an inverse head and shoulders, we would be sharing the upside target. It's not. It's the opposite. It's a head and shoulders, and we're going to share the downside target, potential move to the downside. Also, beyond that, we have so far a major lower high. Let's take a look at this, guys. So we have our initial move up here on the 14th of October. That's where we topped out at the 144. Let's see, what was the level? 144.69 was my resistance level in white. We pulled back here. We put in a lower low. So essentially we took out the lows from the 10th of October. We have a higher high. We have a lower low. Now we have a lower high, which took place on the 29th of October. And so far this pullback continues. We're below yesterday's support, which was 110.7, 1.107, but we don't have a lower low. If we get a lower low here, that'll put us below the head and shoulders neckline. That would be starting to break below that neckline. It's possible that this market stops on a dime right here and starts to rally. If that's the case, we would start to look at a higher low because we didn't take out the lows from the 25th of October. Don't think that'll happen, but we'll cross that bridge if it starts to play out. So just basically what you want to see in an uptrend is higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. In a downtrend, you'll see, lower highs, lower lows. So right now we have a lower low, a lower high, potentially printing a lower low here in the works. We're not there yet. So that's kind of just basic, kind of an easy way to get an idea of what's going on in the markets. Are the markets trending higher? Are the markets trending lower? Are the markets going sideways? Right now, we are in a sideways consolidation, potentially setting up here for a trend to the downside. That's it. Very basic. That's how I look. That's how I look at these markets. But this is energy built up in this chart, and this energy at some point will be released. And judging by what this pattern is, it tells us that the energy could be released to the downside. Now, that can end up being a shakeout, but that still doesn't take away the importance of this pattern. So what I mean by a shakeout is you can get a break to the downside for a head and shoulders, and then the market actually will flip and then start to rally to the upside as people cover their shorts. As they enter short there, they cover their shorts and it goes back to the upside. That's possible. Ends up being a failed breakout, but the breakout is to the downside. That's possible. You can see it to the upside too, guys. We saw the market breakout here up to my target at 144. Go back and watch those videos from the 14th, 13th, 12th of October, and you'll see my highest target was 144.69, and that's exactly where we got to. And then that was it. As a couple days go by, we start to trade sideways, and there's no guarantee we're going to break out again. And obviously we didn't. We're fading to the downside, lower high, and maybe we'll get a lower low here. Something you want to be careful of as well is when a market prints a lower high, the lower low, the next leg down can be nasty and it can be quick. So, hey, who knows? Maybe it won't happen, but just something I've picked up on over some time here. So let's see where we're at here. We have the current price trading at 108, down 2.55%. It is Sunday morning. Looks like we had a change in the clocks here. Got some different times I'm seeing, but looks like it's actually 5:29 a.m. which would be, I guess, 6:29 a.m. yesterday. All right, let's talk about this potentially bearish pattern here playing out. Every day it gets a little closer as we approach the neckline. So head and shoulders is a bearish pattern. We have a left shoulder, we have a head, and we have a right shoulder. Okay, and then this yellow line right here is the neckline. So a break of the neckline would take the price to the downside. Okay, now it's possible that you get down to that neckline, similar to what we did here on the 25th and 6th of October, and bounce. You can see we bounced at the 26th. So we could get down there and then rally here, and the market could start to print higher highs and higher lows. That would be cool. Starts to get everybody slightly bearish, and then boom, takes off like a rocket. Possible. If the chart pattern plays out, we could see a significant drop in price. Would it happen in one day? Probably not. It's possible. I mean, it's only roughly like 40 or so percent to the downside. I mean, you would have to get the markets in a very bad position if you were going to see something like this down 40%. But it's possible. I mean, always prepare for basically the worst in the markets, because when it comes and you're not prepared, man, it will wake you up big time. The pain is real. So as far as I see this, if this pattern plays out here, we could see a drop of roughly 45 cents. Roughly, I could be a little bit off, depending on where in time I put this here. I guess the 45 cents would stay the same. It would be the price that would slightly vary. It would actually go slightly higher. But it's roughly down there around the, let's see here, what it would be right around, like, you can call it 60 cents. It would basically bring the price down to right around 60 cents. It'd be about a 45 cent move lower, 42% roughly to the downside. That's right in here. And oddly enough, guys, that lines up exactly within a cent of where the original breakout took place here, which was right around 61. So that's what I have for the head and shoulders target to the downside. It would take the price all the way back down, doing a complete reversal to where the price broke out here from this overhead resistance line that was finding resistance multiple times. We had a fake reversal, fake breakout here on the 12th of September. On the 13th of September, we had the confirmation. We back tested it. Boom, took off like a rocket, 140 some percent. So it's as plain as day here. Everybody sees the same pattern, which sometimes can mean that it's not going to play out. It'll be a shakeout and then it'll rally. But if it does play out over time, we could find Aerodrome Finance back down here at the right around 60, 61 cents. That would be a full move, about 45 cents lower, and it would be about a 42% lower from the neckline right up in here, which would be right around like $1.05 break. And that's that, guys. That's what I see here for a head and shoulders full move to the downside. We'll see. Hey, hopefully it doesn't play out. But if things get ugly here in the markets heading into the rest of the year, you could find yourselves down there pretty quick. But let's be aware of what's going on here. You know, it's possible that these markets break the neckline, find support, flip, and rally. I've seen it before. We'll see it again. It's also possible that it breaks the neckline and doesn't rally. You know, maybe we have a pretty large initial drop. We have a little retrace. We back test. So you can see this as well. You can see a break of a neckline. You get a big rally, finds resistance at the neckline, and then the market continues to roll over. Just sharing some of the possibilities that could play out here. Guys, thanks for watching. Let's drop into Bitcoin real quick. So Bitcoin still struggling to find market support at 68,748. That's this level. Below that, 64,375. So far, we've been fading lower highs and lower lows after almost making a new high. Resistance came in at 73,494. Of course, not financial advice, guys. I'll catch you down in the comments. Go ahead and join us here if you're not yet subscribed. Share the channel with all your fellow investors. And thanks for watching.